In this episode, we'll recap the week, discussing the most important and interesting events related to the Queen, her family members, and palace news. What's new in the lives of the princes and princesses? What important decisions have been made in the last few days? Join us to get all the details and make sure you don't miss the hottest royal news. Let's get started.
On a day in Staffordshire, the King has visited JCB in Rochester and Tower Brewery in Burton-upon-Trent. In Staffordshire, the King began his day celebrating the 80th anniversary of JCB, meeting employees and apprentices on the factory floor. Founded in 1945, JCB is the world's third largest construction equipment company by volume, with 22 plants on 4 continents and employs 7,500 people in the United Kingdom. During the visit, His Majesty walked the backhoe loader assembly line, viewing the wheels of the backhoe digger being fitted. Earlier this year, JCB celebrated the production of its 1 millionth backhoe loader, a machine that was invented by JCB's founder, the late Joseph Cyril Bamford, CBE. The backhoe is claimed to have changed the world, replacing the man with a shovel. In the factory, the King had the opportunity to meet apprentices, long-serving employees, and their families along the route. JCB places a strong emphasis on apprentices, ever since the recruitment of its first apprentices in 1964. In the company's innovation center, the King was shown JTEB's recently developed hydrogen-powered machine. JCB is the first construction equipment company to develop a working combustion engine, fueled by hydrogen, developed by 150 engineers. As Prince of Wales, the King visited JCB in 1977 and in 2011 opened the JCB Academy. Earlier this year, JCB was granted a royal warrant. Following this, the King visited Tower Brewery, an independent, family-run small brewery which has been in the local area for 24 years. In 2001, John Mills established the Tower Brewery, continuing the long tradition of brewing in Burton-upon-Trent. His Majesty toured the brewery, which hosts events for the local community, and learned more about the process of producing ales. The building is a renovated water tower built in the 1870s by Thomas Salt and Co. John Mills converted the building and returned it to its former heritage. He started production on the 10th April 2001 and since then has created award-winning beers and received a Civic Society Award for the restoration of the building. During His Majesty's visit, the King opened the brewing steam hatch, which demonstrates the gravity-fed brewing process. Aided by the height of the tower, it uses gravity to feed the grist case and supply the water pressure. The visit continued with the King meeting the brewery staff and engaging with local suppliers who contribute to the production of Tower Brewery's ales. His Majesty spoke with maltsters and hop growers who ensure the brewery maintains its traditional brewing methods. The brewery prides itself on using locally sourced ingredients, supporting British agriculture, and maintaining sustainable practices. His Majesty also had the opportunity to sample some of the brewery's most renowned ales, including their award-winning Tower Pale Ale and Burton Strong Ale, which have both received national recognition. He expressed his admiration for the craftsmanship involved in the brewing process and the dedication of the team behind each batch of ale. The visit to Tower Brewery concluded with a brief address from the King, in which he highlighted the importance of supporting small businesses and maintaining Britain's rich brewing heritage. His Majesty acknowledged the brewery's commitment to quality and sustainability, noting that such enterprises play a vital role in the economic and cultural fabric of the country. Before departing Staffordshire, the King made a final stop at a local community center where he met with representatives from various charitable organizations and social enterprises. These groups work tirelessly to support the local community, through initiatives such as food banks, educational programs, and mental health support services. His Majesty took time to listen to the concerns and challenges faced by these organizations, reaffirming his support for community led initiatives that seek to improve the lives of residents. Many of the individuals in attendance expressed their gratitude for the King's ongoing dedication to social causes and his willingness to engage directly with those working on the ground. As the visit drew to a close, the King was presented with a commemorative plaque honoring his time in Staffordshire. The plaque, crafted by local artisans, featured engravings of both JCB and Tower Brewery, symbolizing the fusion of industry and tradition that defines the region. With a warm farewell, the King departed Staffordshire, leaving behind a sense of pride and appreciation among those he had met. His visit served as a reminder of the significance of innovation, heritage, and community in shaping the future of the United Kingdom. Queen Camilla's hairdresser reveals the royal was so nervous ahead of wedding to King Charles. The whole world was watching, and it must have been terrifying, Joe Hansford said in a new interview. Queen Camilla had some extra pre-wedding jitters ahead of her walk down the aisle with King Charles. Camilla's longtime hairstylist Joe Hansford revealed in a new interview with Hello magazine that the royal was so nervous on the day of her wedding to then Prince Charles in 2005, and she wasn't the only one with butterflies. I had been doing her hair for years, but I was very nervous about doing it for the wedding, Hansford said. She looked amazing, thank God. She was so nervous. The whole world was watching, and it must have been terrifying, the same as the coronation. But I think she handled it really well. On April 9th, 2005, the future King Charles and Queen Camilla tied the knot in a civil ceremony at Windsor Guildhall, which was followed by a blessing at St. George's Chapel in Windsor Castle. It was the second marriage for both Charles, now 76, and Camilla, now 77. Charles was previously wed to Princess Diana, while Camilla had divorced from Andrew Parker Bowles. The groom's parents, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, did not attend the civil wedding ceremony. However, both were present at the service of prayer and dedication. Camilla's hair was styled under a wide-brimmed hat for the first ceremony, then a feather headpiece for the blessing, forgoing a traditional wedding tiara. The couple will be celebrating their 20th wedding anniversary this year in a special way. They'll be on a visit to Italy in April and spend their anniversary abroad. While Hansford has subtly changed Queen Camilla's hair color over the years, the hairstylist revealed that the royal doesn't always require her services. I think it looks really good, and she manages it well, Hansford said. She isn't dependent on people all the time unless she has to style it for a special occasion. She's very low maintenance. Kate Middleton and Prince William are not interested at all in fame and celebrity, former aide says. Jason Knauf shared in a new interview that the Prince and Princess of Wales were doing their jobs but for the right reasons. Kate Middleton and Prince William's former aide is sharing new insights into the couple's feelings on the public life that comes with being part of the royal family. While being the Prince and Princess of Wales often means being photographed at red carpet appearances, palace banquets, and tours around the world, former palace staffer Jason Knauf spoke with 60 Minutes Australia about Kate and William's feelings on life in the spotlight. Neither of the prince or the princess would choose to be public figures, he said in the interview, with aired on Feb. 23. They're not that interested in the fame and celebrity that comes with it. In fact, not really interested at all. I think that makes it quite interesting in today's world to see people out there doing their jobs, but for the right reasons. Asked about his role in the royal couple's popularity, Knauf said, I don't think anyone can control the image of anyone in today's media world, social media world. You just can't. All you can do is help people be themselves. With both of these people, the prince and the princess,
What you see is what you really get behind the scenes as well. He added. Knauf worked as a communication secretary to William and Kate, as well as Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, eventually becoming the chief executive of the Prince and Princess of Wales Royal Foundation until late 2021. He continues to serve on the board of trustees for Prince William's Earthshot Prize. Prince William, 42, and Princess Kate, 43, have broken the mold of the royal family, making it a point to focus on their young family. They share three children: Prince George, 11, Princess Charlotte, 9, and Prince Louis, 6, in addition to their duties. They are known for slowing down their work calendar during the kids' school breaks, most recently heading to the private island of Mustique in the Caribbean for a family getaway during the school's half-term break. The Prince and Princess of Wales are also consciously raising their children differently than previous generations of the royal family. While Queen Elizabeth and King Charles were largely raised by governesses, William and Kate have taken a more hands-on approach when it comes to George, Charlotte, and Louis. The couple consciously set out to achieve a sense of normality, a close source previously told People. A friend added, royal families over the generations haven't had the chance to get those foundations right, but they have. When Prince William married his college sweetheart, she brought her down-to-earth tone as she stepped into royal life, something they've carried into their life at home. Those children look pretty happy with life, a palace insider previously told People. A lot of it is the stabilizing normality Kate brings, and that's how she grew up. William absolutely loves it.
Princess Diana's love interest shares views on Prince William and Prince Harry's rift. She would be worried. James Hewitt, who had an affair with the royal, Diana would have done her best to try and get them together. Princess Diana would have been concerned about the rift between her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, according to her former love interest. James Hewitt, who had an affair with Diana during her marriage to the future King Charles, appeared on Good Morning Britain on Feb. 25, where he was asked about the ongoing tension between the Prince of Wales, 42, and the Duke of Sussex, 40. Host Richard Madeley said, any mother would be grief-stricken over the separation we've seen between Harry and Wills. Do you think she would have been able to make a rapprochement possible? Hewitt responded, I think any mother would be worried and concerned about such a rift, as you put it, and she'd do her best to try and get them together. Hewitt, a British Army officer who met Diana at a party and offered to give her horseback riding lessons, joined the morning show to discuss his work with Operation Safe Drop, delivering humanitarian aid to Ukraine. The schism between Prince William and Prince Harry reportedly began in 2000, when William expressed concerns about how quickly Harry's relationship with Meghan Markle was moving. The conflict became public in 2020 when Prince Harry and Meghan announced their decision to step back from their royal roles, relocating to her home state of California later that year. In the years since, the brothers have reunited only a handful of times, last presenting a united front with their wives when they met mourners outside Windsor Castle after Queen Elizabeth's death in September 2022. They were recently together at a memorial service for their uncle Lord Robert Fellows in August, but they reportedly avoided one another. Sources exclusively told People in 24 that Prince Harry's calls and letters to his father, King Charles, go unanswered, and his attempts to connect with Prince William are also ignored. The rift between the brothers is very bad, said a royal insider, but it's not irreparable. Prince Harry previously spoke about how his mother would feel about the tension with his brother, saying in 2023 that Diana would be sad. I think she would be looking at it long term to know that there are certain things we need to go through to be able to heal the relationship, the Duke of Sussex continued. Jason Knauf, a former royal aide to both brothers, recently gave an interview with 60 Minutes Australia,
where he discussed the ongoing royal family feud. It's very difficult to have this stuff play out in the public eye, but William's chosen to keep his thoughts on it private. And I think all of us who know him really have to respect that we should do the same, Knauf said. But I will say, of course, it's been hard and sad, especially for all of us who know both of them. Of Harry and Meghan, Knauf said, I worked really closely with the two of them, and we had lots of great times.
Queen Maxima was very approachable at Anne Frank exhibit in Noisy. Holocaust survivor says, exclusive. I was afraid I'd have to curtsy or do something, and she's very approachable and very nice. Leo Ullman tells people about meeting the Dutch queen. Queen Maxima of the Netherlands left an impression during her meaningful morning at Anne Frank the exhibition in New York City. On Feb 25, the Queen of the Netherlands, 53, visited the special new exhibit at the Center for Jewish History in Manhattan during her official visit to the United States. Anne Frank the exhibition opened on Holocaust Remembrance Day on Jan 27 to mark the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, the largest death camp. The Dutch queen was emotional as she moved through the curated display, which includes the first full-scale recreation of the secret annex in Amsterdam, where Anne Frank and her family hid for 2 years during World War II, to evade Nazi persecution for being Jewish. The group was later found, and Anne died at the Bergen-Belsen concentration camp at age 15. However, her father, Otto Frank, fulfilled his daughter's wish of becoming a writer by posthumously publishing her diary, chronicling their life in hiding. Anne Frank. The Diary of a Young Girl has since been translated into over 70 languages, and the house where the Franks hid with 4 other people is now a museum that welcomes over 1 million visitors per year, according to the Anne Frank House. Queen Maxima was reflective and asked Anne Frank House Executive Director Ronald Leopold many questions during the tour, which people attended. Over 100 objects on display, some never seen before publicly, included items such as Anne's album with school photos, a replica of her first diary, and a poem that she wrote. Later, the Queen shared a discussion with freshman students from Great Neck North High School in New York, who visited the exhibit in connection to their curriculum and privately met with exhibition benefactors including Leo Ullman, a Holocaust survivor. Exclusively speaking to people, Ullman says that it meant much for the royal to tour the exhibition. I think it's very important because the Royal House of the Netherlands has been extremely supportive of the Jewish history and the Jewish population of Amsterdam and the Netherlands, which is very small at this point. But they have been extremely supportive, and I think we owe the royal family quite a lot. Ullman, 85, tells people, the Queen is amazing. She's very nice and outgoing, reaches out with her hand. I was afraid I'd have to curtsy or do something, and she's very approachable and very, very nice, he says. Ullman was born in Amsterdam and survived World War II as a hidden child. He later immigrated to the United States, attended Harvard, served in the Marines, became an attorney, and headed the Anne Frank Center USA for 20 years, per a biography. As a supporter of the exhibit, Ullman says his wish is that the spotlight of Queen Maxima's stop will draw more visitors. The showcase was originally slated for a 3-month run, and extraordinary demand has prompted its extension to October 31, 2020. I think the Queen puts an imprimatur on the exhibit in terms of its quality and its importance and its meaning for the story of Anne Frank and the story of the Anne Frank house in Holland. I think it's also testimony to the brilliance of the people who created this exhibit, Ullman tells people. It's the most phenomenal exhibit, and it goes through a lot of history of the Anne Frank family that you wouldn't catch if you just go to the house in Holland. So it's very special, and to have her be here gives it a sense of significance and quality that's really welcomed. Ronald Leopold, the director who showed Queen Maxima the space, exclusively tells people
that he especially hopes more students can come view it. We're thrilled about what we see in New York. It's an overwhelming success. The response of the visitors is very moving, so we are really very grateful for the opportunity to present Anne Frank's story here in New York. We hope that tens and tens of thousands more visitors will come to the exhibition. Hopefully, especially students, right? He says. This exhibition has been designed for the general public, but it's specifically geared for students. And the New York City public schools can come with their classes for no cost to the exhibition. Same for Title I schools. We hope to see hundreds of thousands of them coming over. As for what it's like to spend the morning with Queen Maxima, the longtime director of the Anne Frank House says the royal is utterly lovely in real life. She is exactly the same person behind the scenes and in front of the cameras. She's a wonderful person. I know she's very dedicated to the cause, Leopold tells People. She's very dedicated to eradicating the hatred from our communities because it's endangering how we live together. Obviously, being the queen of each and everyone in the country, regardless of your background, regardless of your ethnicity, your religion, you are the queen of each and every citizen of a country. That's why this message of a shared humanity that comes from this exhibition is so incredibly important to her. Queen Maxima is married to King Willem Alexander, and the couple share daughters, Princess Katerina Amalia, 21, Princess Alexia, 19, and Princess Ariadne, 17. The royal couple's children are not far in age from the high school students that the Queen met with at the Center for Jewish History, and the outing took her to the city where she previously worked as a banker before meeting her husband in 1999. The beginning of the holy month of Ramadan for millions of Muslims across the globe. The King and Queen celebrated the creativity and contribution of Muslim women during an event at Darjeeling Express, an Indian restaurant in central London. Opened in Soho in 2017 by Indian-born British restaurateur Asma Khan, Darjeeling Express is now based in London's Kingly Court. The restaurant is run by an all-female team. During Ramadan, Asma donates the restaurant's entire proceeds to charity and sends food packages to hospitals as part of the Zakat al-Fitr, an obligatory charitable donation of food to the poor and needy before the end of Ramadan. Their Majesties met families who are being supported by Doorstep, a charity which provides goods and services to members of the Muslim community who are living in temporary accommodation. Sadia Ahmed of Everyday Muslim, a unique organization which is working to document the presence and contribution of Muslim life in Britain through images, interviews, and documents, have a workshop on the influence of Islamic art on William Morris. Their Majesties spoke to Sadia about the work the organization does as part of their archival project to raise awareness about Muslim heritage and history, arts, and culture.
I didn't realize the king would be so fast. You are packing days faster than I can see this. I know. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I never realized it's the speedy couple. Oh my God, sorry.
Muslim women from the worlds of sport, art, and business spoke to their Majesties about their work and plans for the month of Ramadan. The King and Queen helped pack dates that will be sent for iftar, the fast-breaking evening meal, to hospitals during the holy month. Traditionally, dates are eaten as the first food to break the fast at sunset during Ramadan, following the example of the Prophet Muhammad. After the engagement, The king popped next door to Imad's Syrian kitchen to meet British Syrians who are active in their community, including filmmakers, doctors, and charity workers. Imad's Syrian kitchen was founded by Imad Al-Arnab, a Syrian chef, entrepreneur, and refugee who ran multiple restaurants in Damascus before they were destroyed in the war. Imad arrived in London in 2015 and opened his Syrian kitchen in early 2020. The King and Queen have long shown support for other faiths in the UK and throughout the Commonwealth. As Prince of Wales, His Majesty met leaders of all the main faiths and denominations and visited many sacred sites and places of worship across the world. His Majesty has worked for many years on fostering interfaith dialogue and supporting a greater understanding between religions.
Prince William twin in aprons to make Welsh cakes, but he jokes they'll sell at half price. The Prince and Princess of Wales visited Pontypridd in Wales to hear about how the community is faring after being hit by floods twice over the winter. Kate Middleton and Prince William teamed up to try their hands at making Welsh cakes. In the run-up to the national holiday in Wales, St. David's Day on March 1st, the royal couple headed to the nation to celebrate on Feb. 26. The outing marked the Prince and Princess of Wales' second joint royal engagement of the year, following their attendance at a Holocaust Memorial Day service in London on Janus. 27. Kate, who had just announced she was in remission from cancer, made the last-minute decision to join her husband at the poignant event marking the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the Auschwitz-Birkenau concentration camp. The royal couple appeared to arrive in Wales by train and posted footage showing themselves walking on a platform with the geotag Cardiff, Wales to their Instagram stories. Princess Kate continued her tradition of flag dressing, sporting a vibrant red coat representing one of the colours on the Welsh flag. The Prince and Princess of Wales' visit focused on Pontypridd in South Wales, which was badly hit by Storm Bert and Storm Dara in November and December, the latest of the floods to blight the area. They caused major disruption and loss for families and businesses. Prince William, 42, and Princess Kate, 43, began in the market, where they toured the thriving stores and dropped in on the Welsh cake shop. There, alongside owner Teresa Connor, they sported aprons as they learned more about the scone-like cakes. The royal couple took part in kneading the dough and rolling it out before the flat cakes were cut. Connor then showed them how to cook the cakes on the cast-iron flat stove. Prince William was heard joking, "You'll have to sell these for half price."
Connor tells people it was an absolute dream come true to meet with the Prince and Princess of Wales. They were personable and friendly and down to earth, she says. They were really lovely. Connor says it was the first time that William and Kate made Welsh cakes. They said they'd eaten lots, but they'd never made them. And they said they thoroughly enjoyed the experience, she explains. Despite William's half-price joke, Connor said she would absolutely hire the pair at her shop. "I should have roped them in to help with St. David's Day while I had the opportunity," she jokes. Connor told people before the Prince and Princess of Wales arrived. Apparently, Kate is a very keen baker with her children, Prince George, 11, Princess Charlotte, 9, and Prince Louis, 6, and she is going to try her hand and make some with us. It's lovely and an honor for Pontypridd to have a visit. They are coming to visit Pontypridd, where a lot of people have been affected here by the floods, Connor adds. And for them to do so will help boost people in the town and raise our profile. A lot of our customers are very excited about it and are here trying to get a glimpse of them. The couple, who have a close affinity with Wales and lived on Anglesey in the first years of their married life, was made the Prince and Princess of Wales one day after Queen Elizabeth died in September 2022, when William's father, King Charles, acceded to the throne.
They would also have been well acquainted with Welsh cakes, which are traditionally flavored with small currants. But unlike scones, they are cooked on a cast iron griddle or a bake stone on the top of the stove, not baked in an oven.
At the store, Connor and her team make every kind of flavor, from chocolate chip filled ones to coconut, and of course, the traditional ones. Theirs with no spice, unlike many other outlets that add spices like cinnamon. There are also vegan and low sugar options. The couple then headed to the local Fountain Cafe to talk to a group of business owners about market life and its central role within the local community and hear about the recent flooding and how it has impacted them and other businesses in the area. The floods were the second and third time in 5 years that the town has been badly affected, and many homes and roads along the River Taff were flooded. The floods were also a disaster for businesses that lost valuable stock, like a local bookstore which saw $25,000 worth of books ruined, the BBC reported. Fountain Cafe owner Don Pryor tells people the flooding is the main reason they came. They are here because they care, and it gives everyone a boost, and it's really important for everyone. You could see by how many people turned out for them. Prince William was really interested and wanted to take their names. Maybe he'll give the authorities a nudge because there are things that can be done, she adds. Pryor adds, "It was lovely having them in here. Maybe we should be the Royal Fountain Cafe now." The Prince and Princess of Wales' third major stop of the day was set to be at the Meadow Street Community Garden and Woodland, which was established in January 2021 to create an open space that welcomes the community to take part in everything from gardening to woodwork and weaving. The area had been filled with debris from a flood a year earlier. As they were shown around, William and Kate were told how large parts of the site were disrupted again after the floods of December 24, but local volunteers brought it back to use quickly. The garden both promotes the benefits of nature to well-being, something that is close to the heart of Princess Kate, while also helping to build resilience within individuals and forge connections between people. Prince William and Princess Kate decided soon after they got engaged in 20 that they'd spend the first years of their married life in North Wales, where William worked as an air sea rescue pilot for the RAF. Kate made her first official royal outing in Wales a few months after their engagement, when in February 2011, she joined William at the Trareder Bay lifeboat station. There, she christened the new Hereford Endeavour lifeboat as William applauded his bride-to-be. King Charles recruits David Beckham and his bees to help find influencers for his charity. The King's Foundation is marking its 35th year with a drive for young changemakers to continue Charles' mission for the environment, arts, and heritage. King Charles is on the hunt for influencers. The King's charities are looking for what they call changemakers under 35 who can spread the word about traditional arts and crafts, textiles, architecture and urbanism, health and well-being, horticulture and farming. They are broadly what's represented by the King's Foundation, which is marking its 35th anniversary this year. And the King has David Beckham, alongside the former soccer star's bees, adding his name to the search. The athlete appears in a 35-second video to promote the drive as he underscores the commitment to the natural world, sustainable farming, and horticulture. Beckham joined as an ambassador last year, followed by actress Sienna Miller, pop superstar Rod Stewart, and his wife Penny Lancaster. Unveiling the campaign, Chief Executive of the King's Foundation, Christina Murrin says they are searching for the next generation of makers and change makers who will act as diverse and impactful representatives for the subjects areas that we represent as a charity and that the King stands for. Their aim is to showcase the benefits of what Charles calls harmony, the philosophy that everything in nature is interconnected, including ourselves. We hope that some of our students and alumni will form part of this group, as well as social media influencers and content creators.
she added. In tandem with the 35th anniversary, King Charles is also helping make a documentary about the work of the foundation that will air on Amazon. It will act as a fantastic showcase for our work and the King's lifetime of service to the natural world, Murrin explained at a briefing on Thursday, Feb 27. The Foundation's education programs cover natural sciences, farming and food, regeneration and the built environment, and traditional arts and heritage crafts works for 15,000 students from school level to those studying for PhDs every year, she explained. Our central ethos has always remained the same. We promote the change the King wants to see in the world, she said. We are passionate about educating the next generation about the natural environment and the importance of spending time in nature for our own health and well-being. The foundation began in 1990 when Charles, then the Prince of Wales, set up the Institute of Architecture, which explored how to develop and build sustainable communities. The Charles-inspired town of Poundbury was the result. It then broadened into a range of areas from the preservation of heritage skills, like wood turning and sustainably looking after the built and natural environment. Today, there is an array of education programs that lead the way to nurturing talent in areas like embroidery for couture houses and furniture making, which would otherwise be lost. One of those takes place at Highgrove House, where students of the Chanel Métier d'Art Embroidery Fellowship. Students there are encouraged to be inspired by the sights and flora in Charles's garden at Highgrove when creating their designs. When people visited in the summer, Angelica Ellis from London said she drew inspiration for her idea from the garden's purple and orange blooms of crocuses. Here it is all about protecting traditional crafts, which is something I care about too, she said. You see the benefits in France where they're quite good at producing and keeping their skills. The project here is super important. There are things that the tutors here have given me that I don't think you get anywhere else. Trump connected with some of the British royals again at the NATO 70th anniversary reception at Buckingham Palace that December. In July 2024, it emerged that King Charles sent a letter to Trump after he was shot in an assassination attempt at a campaign rally in Pennsylvania. Trump went on to win the 2024 presidential election on the Republican ticket against Kamala Harris and crossed paths with Prince William at the ceremonial reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris in December 2024. The Prince of Wales, 42, represented his father at the ceremony as he furthered his role as a global statesman, and Trump later relayed that he was charmed by William when they met one-on-one at the UK ambassador's residence. I asked him about his wife and he said she's doing well, and I asked him about his father, and his father is fighting very hard, and he loves his father and he loves his wife, so it was set. Trump told the New York Post at the time about meeting William. He was seemingly referring to Princess Kate and King Charles' cancer diagnoses, both announced in 2024. The Princess of Wales has since shared that she is in remission, while the King's treatment is continuing into this year. We had a great talk for half an hour, a little more than half an hour. We had a great talk, Trump said, adding that William looked well and very handsome. He's a good-looking guy. He looked really very handsome last night, he told the Post. Some people look better in person. He looked great. He looked really nice, and I told him that. I had a great talk with the prince, Trump said about the time they spent together. State visits are arranged as a way for Britain to maintain strong bonds with other countries and are organized in both outward and incoming formats. There's plenty of pomp and circumstance to the traditional schedules, which typically include a ceremonial welcome at Horse Guards Parade, Guard of Honor inspection, state banquet at Buckingham Palace, speeches and meetings with leaders over a few following days. Princess Eugenie shares heartbreak over Michelle Trachtenberg's death. Goodbye, special friend. Trachtenberg referred to the British princess as my girl E, and a wonderful human in Instagram posts through the years. Michelle Trachtenberg's death may have come as a shock to Princess Eugenie, as the Gossip Girl star previously documented the close friendship they shared on social media. Trachtenberg died on Feb 26 at age 39, and the NYPD confirmed to People that she was found dead in her Midtown apartment early that morning. Criminality is not suspected in the actress's death, and an investigation is ongoing. Princess Eugenie shared a tribute to the actress on her personal Instagram page on Feb 27, writing over a photo of the pair, "Goodbye, special friend. You are so loved and missed. Thank you for so many memories of laughter and fun. You were so thoughtful and generous and so funny. My favorite was listening to you order food, always done with precision, so you got exactly what we all wanted." The royal continued, "I'm thinking of you up there, friend, of your spirit that was so bright and your joy you brought so many." Trachtenberg shared several photos with Princess Eugenie on her Instagram profile through the years, most recently praising the royal as one of the most dearest, kindest, most genuine friends I have ever had in my life in a 2020 post. Eugenie lived in New York from 2013 to 2000 while working at online auction house Paddle 8. The pair was first photographed together at a New York Knicks game at Madison Square Garden in December 2013, where they sat courtside with Michael K. Williams and another friend. Eugenie and the Buffy the Vampire Slayer star sat next to one another at the NBA game in the heart of Manhattan, where they watched the Knicks take on the Atlanta Hawks. A few years later, Trachtenberg posted a photo with the British royal recapping the adventure they had in Los Angeles. "Let the art tour continue. Last week we went to the Broad Museum. Today I got a tour of the brand new Hauserwerth and Schimmel Gallery in downtown LA, featuring abstract sculpture by women 1947 to 2016. Make sure you see the incredible #Eva Hesse installation. Thanks to my girl E for being my art guide," the actress wrote on Instagram in March 2000, seemingly using E as shorthand for Eugenie. Oh, and a couple other rascals joined in on the fun today. Art Sunday. Fun day. Friends who art together stay together. Trachtenberg wrote, adding heart and paint palette emojis and tagging Hauser and Wirth, which is the art gallery where Eugenie works today. The group photo showed Princess Eugenie and Trachtenberg together at the center of a shot with Eric Buterbaugh, photographer Tyler Shields, and Anna Mulvoy-Ten. Some wore sunglasses and everyone smiled at the camera. 3 days later, Trachtenberg shared a selfie with Eugenie for a tribute celebrating their friendship. "There are few people in life that you meet that you know are true and real," she wrote below the photo, which showed them smiling as the princess put a hand on the actress's shoulder. "This lady happens to be one of them. Friends really do mean a lot. Happy St. Patrick's Day. May luck of love and friends be with you," Trachtenberg wrote with green heart, twinkle star, and shamrock emojis on the eve of St. Patrick's Day. The Harriet the Spy Star shouted out the royal again in a heartfelt Instagram post in December 2020 that described Eugenie as an amazing person and wonderful human.
This is a throwback post and a dedication to an amazing person, Trachtenberg the Tribute, which featured an undated black and white photograph of her and Eugenie beaming with their heads together. "I met this wonderful human years ago in New York. Eugenie has been one of the most dearest, kindest, most genuine friends I have ever had in my life. As we are going through these very challenging times, I'm finding new levels of gratitude," she continued, apparently referencing the global COVID pandemic ongoing at the time. "I am grateful for the relationships I have made over the years. I am grateful we have a vaccine on the way. I am grateful for the people who wear masks to protect themselves and others, and our frontline workers. This holiday season will be a challenge. Please stay safe, be smart, so that 2021 we can come back strong," she wrote, adding the hashtags #throwback, #woman crush Wednesday, and #stay home, plus a sparkling heart. Princess Eugenie moved back to the UK for a new job at Hauser and Wirth in 2015, where she still works. Trachtenberg did not appear to attend Eugenie's royal wedding to Jack Brooksbank in Windsor in October 2010, and it remains unclear if the pair stayed in touch. New York Post was first to report the news of Trachtenberg's death on Feb. 26. The actress was best known for her roles as Georgina Sparks on Gossip Girl and Dawn Summers on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. She got her start in commercials before landing parts on The Adventures of Pete and All My Children. Her last credited role was in 2023, where she reprised her iconic character Georgina Sparks for the Gossip Girl reboot on Max. Prince William heads to seaside town to announce $63 million deal for Mission to Help Unhoused. The Prince of Wales visited a college boat building course which targets young people vulnerable to homelessness. Prince William stepped out solo as he continued his mission to help the unhoused. The Prince of Wales, 42, was on the south coast of England on Feb. 28 to see the latest initiatives for housing for those facing mental health difficulties and a boat building course that helps young people find jobs. His 5-year project Homewards, which he set up into 3, operates in 6 pilot areas around the UK, and he visited one in the Bournemouth, Christchurch, and Poole area to see an organization that helps people with mental health challenges find housing. Millennium House is an 11-bed mental health housing project where residents are given their own plan, tailored to their specific needs, to set them on the road to getting their own independent home. The Prince's visit came as he unveiled a new partnership called Homewards Activator to help bring new homes to the 6 areas where his homelessness project operates. The partnership sees Lloyds Bank Group providing an initial $63 million, $50 million in new lending to support small and medium-sized housing providers and charities, which often find it difficult to source investment in Homewards locations. After meeting residents at Millennium House, which is the kind of project that Lloyds Bank would support through the UK locations, to see how it is helping them develop skills to live independently in a healthy and safe living space, William headed to Bournemouth and Poole College to see how Homewards has brought together coalition members to create a path for new jobs for people at risk of or experiencing homelessness in the local area. One of those is the Job Ready program, in which students at risk of or experiencing homelessness are referred to a 12-week paid training course. After that, they can take the first steps to further develop their skills at the Sunseeker shipyard, working towards qualification and permanent employment opportunities. Prince William met the organizations that refer the young people, those who teach them, and the students who have completed it and are already now in permanent roles with the boat building company. The college says young people under 25 are a key group they believe they can support locally, and has prioritized clearing the path to employment and training as a key way of doing this. Earlier, as the new tie-up with Lloyds Bank was announced, Pim Gregory, Executive Director for Homelessness at the Royal Foundation, said in a statement they were thrilled to partner with the bank. Supporting the Homewards locations' access to funding, skills, and expertise needed to deliver homes is an essential part of our mission to demonstrate it is possible to end homelessness, he said. It delivers new funding and investment readiness support to organizations in our Homewards locations to increase the supply of housing, and as essential support for people at risk of or experiencing homelessness. Matt Downey, Chief Executive of Crisis, a partner of Homewards, added, with homelessness rising rapidly across Britain, now more than ever we need to see all sectors of society pulling together to find solutions. It's great to see that Lloyds Banking Group is joining forces with the Royal Foundation's Homewards program
to provide investment that will deliver much needed affordable homes to people experiencing homelessness. A secure home is the foundation of a good life, and people coming out of homelessness also require dedicated, individualized support. Last June, at the 1 year anniversary of Tay Homewards Project, Prince William said, "I created Homewards because I wanted us to look at the issue of homelessness through a different lens, to inspire a movement to prevent people from ever experiencing homelessness in the first place. I know this will take a huge effort, and I know that demonstrating that homelessness is not an inevitable part of our society will take time," he added. "I have, though, been struck by the scale of the work that has been carried out since the launch of Homewards, and I hope it is a powerful reminder to everyone of what can be achieved when we work together towards a shared goal."
Kate Middleton offers to share her jam recipe with young gardeners during food-focused Wales trip. The Prince and Princess of Wales visited local businesses and a community garden during their recent visit. Kate Middleton and Prince William's recent trip to Wales came with a sweet surprise for a group of local children. The royal couple traveled to Pontypridd in South Wales on Wednesday, February 26, ahead of the St. David's Day national holiday on March 1st. During their visit to the Meadow Street Community Garden and Woodland, Princess Kate heard about a group of young gardeners who were harvesting plums in order to make jam. "I'll send you my recipe so you can try it," she promised, according to Hello. The Princess of Wales also shared her new interest in foraging, noting that her children, Prince George, 11, Princess Charlotte, 9, and Prince Louis, 6, were particularly interested in a giant puffball mushroom she recently came across. "The children thought it was fascinating," she shared. Of course, Princess Kate is not the only one with a fondness for jam. Last April, Meghan Markle gifted famous friends like Mindy Kaling, Chrissy Teigen, and Kris Jenner jars of strawberry jam from her upcoming lifestyle brand. Meghan announced earlier this month that she was rebranding American Riviera Orchard, whose logo adorned the jam jars in photos on social media, with a new name, As Ever. However, she reassured her followers that the jam wasn't going away. "Of course, there will be fruit preserves. I think we're all clear at this point that jam is my jam," she shared in a video on Instagram. "But there are so many more products that I just love, and now it's time to share them with you. So I just can't wait for you to see it." Upon arriving in Wales on Wednesday, Princess Kate, 43, and Prince William, 42, learned about making traditional Welsh cakes at the Welsh Cake Shop before meeting with more local business owners. The region was badly hit by Storm Bert and Storm Dara in November and December, and many families and businesses are still recovering. "It's lovely and an honor for Pontypridd to have a visit. They are coming to visit Pontypridd, where a lot of people have been affected here by the floods," Welsh Cake Shop owner Teresa Connor told People. "For them to do so will help boost people in the town and raise our profile."